Hello everyone, my name is Keith McGregor. Welcome to the ChampionsWay Perfect Mind 3 Ways to Make More Money in Less Time webinar. I want to thank all of you for joining us. If you haven't done so already, if you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ChampionsWay fans, like us on Facebook. You can get all of our webinar recordings on there as well. So all of our previous ones, if you saw the ones for attendance and retention, our email webinar, and even the ones from like Melody Schumann and Sensei Nick Doherty, you can get all of our past webinars on our Facebook page. So I want to talk about who should be here. Now, typically, at the end of this webinar, I will save you time or money, and I will guarantee it if you are in one of the following 3 groups. So when I'm saying this, if you're not in one of these 3 groups, I suggest you still stick around because there's going to be some benefits. You're going to see some cool things because we're actually going to unveil today the new POS system for Perfect Mind a little bit later so you can see what's coming. But these are typically the 3 groups that we're talking about. So group 1, you're spending too much time on charging your students manually and not following up on the students who are overdue. So this is the group I call the manual group. This is the group that pinches pennies, and result, they lose dollars. So everything is about saving every single penny here, and they waste a lot of time doing it. They do everything manually to save some percentages or cents on their transactions. So these are the people that are typically swiping credit cards in-house, or they're waiting on checks and cash. They're essentially hoping their students remember to pay. You're relying on hope. So you think you're saving money here, but you're losing time. Time is money. So you have to imagine to yourself, what can you do with all this time? And it's one of these things, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Calculate how much time you're spending on this right now, trying to get students to come in, pay by cash, pay by check, or get them to manually pay it with a swiper in-house with a credit card. So group number 2, you're spending too much money on a billing company. You're tired of having a disconnected system for tracking attendance, memberships, and online sales. So this is the group that uses the full service billing but doesn't actually need it. They're the smaller school. Now, those of you who know me, I was in this group. I used the full service billing company when I had my school. It did not benefit me. I was not a large school, and it actually in the end hurt me. So the thing about this group, 80% of delinquencies are related to an expired credit card or a change of a bank account. So you don't need an actual full-service billing company doing your collections. Your delinquencies are going to be very low, and most of the time it's just going to be somebody canceled their credit card and they've got a new one. Okay? So these are the same people that are struggling with their software, though. Now, the thing about full-service billing companies, and I'm not knocking full-service billing companies, but I will say their management software is, I would say, mediocre at best. There's not a lot of attention placed on the software development side for full-service billing companies generally. So that's just one of the things. So if you're using one, you're frustrated with the software, you're probably falling into this group. So group 3. You have a large student base and have no time to follow up on cancellations or overdue calls. So this is the group that probably needs the full service billing company. So these are the bigger schools. I generally say 300 plus student base. Schools 500 student base. These are the guys that probably could use full service billing. Now, depending on your business model. It's not always the case, but depending on your business model. Okay, so when you're dealing with this kind of volume, sometimes it can be impossible to handle the overdue calls or deal with cancellations. That's the other thing. So when you're talking about this level of student base, these calls come in on a much higher volume. The overdue students come at you in a much higher volume. So again, this is dependent on your business structure. Now, the solution. We're going to talk about that here. But the one thing is if you are in one of these 3 groups, then I can definitely save you time and money. So if you are not in one of these three groups, and say for instance, if you're already using billing with us, with PerfectMIND, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to show you something pretty cool at the end here. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you the new POS system for PerfectMIND as well. So what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to take a quick poll. If you can all type in the chat, let me know if you're in one of these three groups. And if you're in one of these three groups, can you let me know which group you're in? Just to get an idea of who we're looking at right now. Who do we have in the room? I'll give you all a second to do that right now. So we got somebody in the third group. We got somebody in the first group. We have a couple people more in the first group. And we have somebody in the second group now as well. So we got a little of each here, and that's good. Let's talk about the solution for group one, okay? So how much time do you spend per week doing manual billing? And this is what we were talking about before. Calculate the actual amount of time you spend doing these things manually. Now, think about it in terms of it's not just swiping credit cards every month. It's chasing students down for cash, chasing students down for their checks, trying to figure out who's in your class, who's paid, who owes, all of these things. Now, imagine what you can do with that time. What could you spend that time on? Could you spend it more on growing your business? Could you spend it more on marketing? Things like this, okay? So what is your follow-up process? Now, my question is, do you even have a follow-up process? This is the biggest thing. A lot of these schools, and like I said, these are generally smaller schools as well, small to mid-sized schools that we're talking about that don't have automated billing. Do you have an actual follow-up process? Okay, so do you keep track of their accounts when they attend your classes? Because here's the other problem. Do you know when they attend classes if they've actually paid? Here's the other problem with people who don't use automated billing. They don't actually know what's going on in their own schools. Now, I can tell you from experience on this, okay? I was using a full-service billing company, and prior to the full-service billing company, I was in this group. So I've had the luxury of being in group one and in group two. I was a cash collector. Everybody would come in and drop off a check or they drop off cash. When they come in and they attend, I have no idea if they've paid or not. There's no connection there. So there's no automated billing. So my system, my attendance system, cannot actually tell me if these students have indeed paid or if they're even delinquent. So here's the other thing, where you're losing money, okay? And this is where you can make some money. You're losing typically $500 plus a month for online products and membership sales, okay? Now, this is based on the number of your students. There are other factors here. But the big thing right now is, say, for instance, paid trials. For those of you who are unfamiliar with paid trials, it's, say, for instance, like 6-week trials for $99 and so on. These kind of things. Having those on your website and it links directly to your software, you can sell these right online. And it takes a matter of seconds to set it up. The other thing you're losing out on is merchandise sales. You can sell products online. You can sell your T-shirts. You can sell your boxing gloves. You can sell your foot pads. Everything you can sell online. So think about what you can do in merchandise sales. And it doesn't cost you anything to put it out there. So if you're not making money from merchandise sales, it doesn't hurt to try. But the one thing that I always say is you will make money on paid trials. So I always say offer that, if anything. So with PerfectMIND, it costs you only 3 clicks per year per student. And this is what you're going to see a little later, how quick and easy you can set up a membership in PerfectMIND. So the system creates a transaction and charges the students. So you determine all of this, okay? So if you're, say, for instance, one of those schools who's charging, and I don't know if all of you know what the average monthly fee right now, I'll use the United States as an example. The average monthly fee this goes for martial arts schools, so if there's other membership-based businesses in here, I'm going to use martial arts as the example. Martial arts schools right now in America is $120 per month. So essentially, you're setting up people, you say what they're going to pay monthly, you say how they're going to pay, whether or not it's going to be monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, and the system will automatically set it up for you. Okay, so the other thing is the system reattempts when there's no money on the credit card or on the bank account. Now, you determine how many reattempts you want. So say, for instance, you have a credit card that declines. Here's what we found, and this goes back to our business intelligence. I talk about this in all my webinars. The luxury of working for ChampionsWay and Perfect Mind is we can use our business intelligence with all of our thousands of clients, and we can ultimately see what works, what doesn't. So we see what's successful, what isn't. And one of the things that we've seen is, generally speaking, when you're dealing with credit cards, by the third attempt, if a credit card declines, by the third attempt, you will collect your funds, 90% of the time. Now, generally speaking, if somebody just hasn't made the payment on the credit card, they're a little bit late, maybe it hasn't processed, and so on. Generally, what we advise is you reattempt a credit card every 3 business days. So that's what we do. Now, in terms of that, you determine exactly how many times you want to reattempt the credit card. You can set that up. We can show you how to do it. Now, remind them every time. Remind them every time is simple, and this goes back to the email webinar that we talked about. Perfect Mind will remind the students their payment is coming up. So in that webinar, we showed everybody how to set that up. It's a real easy email to set up. And if anybody's ever interested in setting that up, you can go to the Facebook page and you actually watch that webinar. Or the other thing you can do is you can jump into one of our live training classes, and we can help you with it right there. It takes probably about maybe 1 minute to set up that email. Now, what that email is doing is it's actually sending it out to the student, say, for instance, 3 days before their payment processes. So what this does is it reminds the student, oh, hey, the money's coming out of my account. And again, business intelligence, it comes back down to that when you deal with thousands and thousands of clients. The ones who have this email set up, it reduces their delinquency by 75%. So again, this is one of those things where, you probably don't have a whole lot of students who are delinquent. You may be able to eliminate it altogether. Okay, now send them an email to help them update their financial information. This boils down to member accounts. Now, what it is you can simply set up a member account for your students that they log into and they see all their information. And what they can do is they can actually go online and they can update their credit card or bank account information. So if something changes, you can let them know. If anything should change with your financial information, you can simply just go online and do it. Obviously, they can come to school and you can do it in probably 30 seconds in Perfect Mind, but they can also go online and do it themselves. So give you the ability to sell products and memberships online. And then this is the one that we talked about before. Are you missing the train on this right now? How many schools do you see out there that are selling this online and making money? It's another source of income. People are likely to buy paid trials online. It's proven to work. And again, 6 weeks for $99 may not work in your area. Maybe you can get more. Maybe it might be less. Now, it depends where you are. But ultimately, you should have some sort of paid trial, some sort of 6-week membership that you can sell on your website. So the whole point of this is the cost is nothing compared to what you save and gain. So in terms of the amount of time you're going to save and in terms of what you're going to gain in overall sales. So group 2, spending too much money on full service billing. So 80% of overdue are for 2 main reasons. We talked about this. No money in the bank account. They haven't deposited their check yet. Again, you can reattempt. Credit cards expired. Here's the other thing, right? I mean, we lose our credit card. We call it in, stolen, lost, whatever. You get a new credit card. What's the one thing that you always forget? What did I have coming off that credit card? Was it my fitness club dues? Was it my martial arts school payment? All of these things come off your credit card. You forgot to update it. It's a simple mistake. How many of these do you have? Well, chances are 80% of it is going to fall within this range. So this is what we're saying is Perfect Mind can take care of this for you automatically. So this is this area again, group number 2, where you are a small school, small to mid-sized school. You don't need a full service billing company at this stage. So at the end of the day, 1 or 2 students per every 100 students who actually need a follow-up on the phone. So this is what we're saying is 80% of these people, are easily going to pay. Now, there's probably going to be these 1 or 2 students that you're going to have to give a phone call to. Now, in this case, are 1 or 2 students really worth paying a full-service billing company to make those phone calls for you? The call is always going to be better for these 1 or 2 students to probably be made by you or your staff. And this is, again, this is one of those things, and I'm not, like I said, I was in this group. myself personally. So the one thing is you generally know these people at this level of business. You generally know who they are. Now, group 3 is a little bit different of a story, okay? But I'm saying typically you're better off making these phone calls to these people. So what we found, and this is something I'm not going to get into, some of you have seen it before, the billing calculator. I'm not going to get into it today. If you are interested in finding out what we can save you, and again, depending on how much volume you deal with, we always can save people money here. If you deal with a full-service billing company and you do want to do billing with us, we're dealing with 14 cents per transaction on an EFT, and we do 2.09% on credit cards. So we're going to be far cheaper than a full-service billing company. Now, if you're interested in exactly how much you can save, email us at marketing@championsway.com and let us know what your current billing rates are. And then we will actually calculate your real savings if you switch your billing to us. Okay, so we will send it out to you, and we can even send you the link to the billing calculator. It is 100% accurate, I assure you, and you can actually see what you would save per month and annually. Now, group number 3. So this is the bigger schools, okay? You don't have time. You need help with the follow-up calls, with cancellations, overdues, all of these, okay? So like I said, this is generally the group that needs full service billing. I'm not saying in every case, okay? I do know schools that have 600 students and do not use full service billing. But there are a lot of schools that can benefit from it. So we offer full service billing. This is something that some of you may be aware and some of you may not. If you do want full service billing, it's fully integrated now with PerfectMIND. So we can actually set up full service billing, do the collections, take care of the cancellation calls. Everything is done in one system now, and it's in PerfectMIND. So we are now the first system to offer both. We can do it all now, okay? So again, if you weren't aware, we do offer it. If you are in Australia, we offer full service billing in Australia. We can get approval the same day. If anybody is interested in that, we offer full service billing to our Canadian clients and to our, obviously, to our United States clients as well. So we do have that now. So this brings me to the point. All-in-one integrated system, okay? So now here's one of the things that I mentioned before. If you were not part of one of those groups, you're already doing your billing within PerfectMIND. That's fantastic. It's not like we're saying you don't want to stick around because I'm actually just going to show you a few of the features within PerfectMIND, and I ultimately wanted to show the new POS system, which is coming out in the next couple weeks. It's going to be unveiled to everybody. But I always like to do that, and you guys know this if you've attended my webinars before. I like to give a sneak peek of a few things that are coming. So again, you can sell memberships and products online. That's a no-brainer. You know, we should all be doing that. You know if your students are overdue when they scan in because your system's connected. Now they're billing, and it's connected to your system. So when they attend, the system flags them, whether it be using Perfect Scan or whether it be using our check-in system. You're going to know if they're delinquent. You can check one system for reports. So this means simply all your reports that you need are going to be in your system. You're not trying to figure out if your billing is accurate because you're not trying to say, you know, did this guy pay, did this guy not, and all of that. Everything's automated. Your reports are in real time. So you can use an automated and mass communication for notifications for email, SMS, and voice broadcast. So all of this is available now. A lot of people asked about the SMS. The SMS is available now, fully functional in PerfectMIND. Obviously, the automated emails. Again, invoice reminders. Send them out. 3 days before is what I've personally seen works best. 3 days before a student's payment comes out, you send a simple email to them, and I'm not saying you personally send that email. You have PerfectMIND automatically send that email out to the student to remind them about the payment. Voice broadcast, again, you can set up voice broadcast within PerfectMIND. Let them know about any message that you want. You can set it up in a matter of seconds. So, more convenient student portal. This is the member account that we were talking about before. Give your students member accounts so they can log in and actually change their own bank account information, their own credit card information. So, if they lose their credit card, they get their new one, they can just simply use their login, which you can create in literally 1 second. It'll email them their login. They can log in and just update their own credit card number. So, that's the this is the area where I wanted to move into PerfectMIND now. What I'm showing you here is the new point of sale, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. I don't think any of you have actually seen this yet. So what this is a new point of sale. We're going to be releasing it in the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk about that just a little bit. But this is the thing. Some of you in the room are already using PerfectMIND, but you may not be using the billing. Some of you are already using PerfectMIND, and you are using the billing, and you should still stick around. Some of you are not using PerfectMIND. Is the other thing. So we have some people who actually have never seen PerfectMIND, and I'm not going to turn this into a whole training course, because if you haven't been using PerfectMIND, we do supply you a success coach who will ultimately walk you through the system and get you up and running. But what I wanted to show is essentially this. In terms of memberships, this is what we were talking about before. So you can create your memberships, the most common ones you sell, and you can have them directly here, and you set up the passes, okay? So if you want to use a 3-month membership, 6-month membership, an ongoing membership, or 10-class membership, you set them up. You can just have the ones that you most commonly sell. And likewise with products as well. Now, we talked a little bit about online stores, so you can actually have featured products, so the products are bigger, the ones you want to promote more and so on. But like we were talking about before, selling products online, this is how easy it is to sell a product online. When you click the plus sign, you simply say who you want to show it to. And if you want to show it to the public, you can upload your picture, put your product and your price up there, and that's it. You can sell it online. You can simply have it upload directly to your website. So what I wanted to show was the new POS system here. And again, this is coming out in the next couple of weeks. So the new POS, you just click POS at the top here, okay? From here, you just type in your customer, and in this case, say it's going to be John. We'll pick John here. Now you just need to know what you're going to sell. So say, for instance, I want to sell an ongoing membership and a white gi. I just type in ongoing, and I can select my ongoing Taekwondo membership. From here, I can select my white gi, and I can have everything set up here. I can obviously still have the capability of editing prices here, activation dates, add down payments. Everything is completely editable from the point of sale. From here, I just need to know how they're going to pay. In this case, we'd always like to use credit card or EFT, but in this case, just use cash just to show the system, and we would simply complete the transaction. Oh, 2 payment types, my fault. Oh, and a billing start date. And successfully completes. Now, you can also book classes from here, print receipts, email receipts, and you can actually do merge agreements. And for those of you who haven't seen it, we do have digital signature available as well. So you can go on here, and you can actually have your membership agreement right here, and they can go in and actually sign their agreement directly from here. So they can actually use this on a tablet if you wanted to, and so on. And then you can actually store and save that agreement on the student page. And you can also send an email to them with their actual agreement. So all of this is built into the actual system itself. So what I was going to do here is I'm going to take a couple questions here. If there are any questions, if you just want to type them in, and let's have a look and see what we can do for you guys. So the one thing here I wanted to talk about as well is if anybody is interested, while we're waiting for these questions, if anybody is interested in talking about either 1, doing billing with us, or 2, doing the new full-service billing that we're offering, again, just send an email to marketing@championsway.com. So let's talk about some of the questions here. Can you limit which memberships are shown to customers on the website? Yeah, again, it's the exact same thing with the memberships. What I was showing you with the products, you simply choose who sees it. So you see for staff only, for members only, because again, going back to those member accounts, you can give special pricing to your members, your current members, or you could say the public. So you always choose who sees it. So absolutely. So we have a question, is the full service billing ready to go in Australia? Yes, we are ready to go. We have full service billing in Australia. So that is a go. So is full billing service including the $150 I currently pay? The full service billing, depending on the rates, depending on the package you choose, right? So the full service billing is separate from that. So if you're interested in the rates, send us an email at marketing@championsway.com and we can discuss those rates. So full service billing includes calling members. Yes, it does. So you determine that. If you want them to do your collections, that's fine. If you want them to deal with their cancellations, they'll do that too. So yes, they will take care of it. It is complete and complete full service billing. Scott, what is your EFT rate or percentage? Okay, no percentage on EFTs actually. It's just a straight 14 cents. So if you're charging $120 per month, it's going to be 14 cents. That's it. That's all you're paying on the EFTs. Again, credit cards, we do 2.09%. Now, those are not full service billing rates. I'm just going to verify that, okay? Those are our rates. If you're going to bill with us, if you want to integrate full service billing, there are different rates. But again, we can talk to you specifically about those rates. So how often do you get your deposits with your billing? Okay, this is a good question. So say, for instance, if you're dealing with full service billing, they generally, well, what they essentially do is they are the merchant. So they're withdrawing the money for you. They will take their percentage, and then they will deposit the money to you. So there's a delay in getting your funds. Now, if you do billing with us, there is no delay. The reason being is because if you do billing with us, and this is specifically what we were talking about with Group 1 and Group 2, the thing about this is you're the merchant. We're not doing the billing. We're essentially just connecting it to the system. So we get your billing live within 2 business days. It takes 2 business days to get your billing live. And from there, you're actually withdrawing the money. So it's going to be, you know, if it's Jim's Karate School, it's going to show Jim's Karate School on the bank statement. You're the merchant now. So you'll get credit cards the next day. EFTs take a little bit longer because there's a clearing process. But again, we don't hold funds or anything like that. You are the merchant, so you're doing your own billing. So price for full service billing, again, contact us, okay, because there's different packages so we can assess it. But if you want, the best way to do it is just give us a call or just send an email out to marketing@championsway.com. And we'll contact you right away. We can work out the exact pricing for you. Okay, so if you have any other questions, again, just send an email to marketing@championsway.com. Again, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/championswayfans. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the webinar today. You all have a wonderful weekend. And one other note, we will be doing another webinar next week. This one will be more business training, and it's going to be revolving on leads, lead generation, what to do from the point when you get the lead, how to follow up with the lead, and ultimately how to convert the lead. So I want to make sure you all attend that one. That's going to be a big one next week. Thank you all, and have a great day.